All right, I'm going to come talk to my friends on the sunny side over here. You guys are getting baked in the sun. Hot. See, the towels come in handy, don't? You need the big one? All right. These are the Margaritaville towels, thanks to our friends over at Margaritaville. Make sure you guys swing by the booth and get yourself, these are soft too. You can have one if you come talk to me. Are you from Washington?
No.
Okay. What's your name?
Tracy.
And where are you from, Tracy?
Houston.
Houston. All right. Anyone from that side from Houston? Wow, crickets. Crickets. Oh, well. Tracy, thanks for coming out here. Are you playing here this week?
No, thank you. No, I am not.
What do you got going on? What brought you out here in Indian Wells?
Just to see this, my first experience here.
And what do you think for your first experience?
It's awesome.
You gonna come back next year?
I am, but I'm gonna play next year.
Sounds good. I love it. All right, Tracy. All right, another one of these Margaritaville towels. They're so soft. I wish I had 1 million of them to give everybody one. I did. Oh man, jeez. These things come in handy. Definitely go dip it in some water and put it on the back of the neck. All right, let's see. I think that's a t-shirt. I got some sunglasses, though. Anyone need some Margaritaville sunglasses on this side? You guys are sitting in the sun, and these are super duper fun. And they got the tournament name there on the side, Margaritaville USA Pickleball National Championships 2019. Yeah, I got a koozie in here for you. There you are, sir. Oh, you need some shades. Get you some orange ones to match your... Oh, you got a bronze medal? Okay, what'd you get a bronze medal for?
Juniors.
And what's your name?
Jesse Gilliland.
Jesse Owen? And...
No, Gilliland.
All right, Jesse Gilliland got a bronze medal for juniors. Hands together for Jesse Gilliland. Future pickleball. How long you been playing pickleball for, Jesse?
About 1.5 years.
About 1.5 years. All right, nice work. Well, remember that name, Jesse Gilliland, in the house. I got some K-tape as well, thanks to our friends at Mueller Sport. You guys both? Okay, we're gonna have you rock, paper, sit. You have some? Well, you know what? Since you're such a good sport, you can have some more. And some ladies camo there, some pink camo. Anyone else on this side need some sunglasses? You guys are sitting in the sun. It's about to get hot. Sir, I am very concerned about your beer right there.
You got a cozy?
I don't want it heating up. Oh, I gotta go find some more. I'll come back. I'll go dig up some see if I got some more koozies. We can't have those drinks getting hot out here.
Gentlemen, a couple more minutes.
So a couple more minutes till we get underway. Would you like some sunglasses? Hello. There's some sunnies for you. Thank you. Anyone down here need some sunglasses before I think I got one left at the bottom. There you are, sir. All right, you guys stay hydrated over here. They're in the shade now. You guys are in the direct sun, so make sure you got that sunscreen on and stay hydrated. We're getting underway with our next match here in just a moment. Byron's yelling at me over here. He's giving me the stink eye. I don't want to make him angry. Byron, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2019 USAPA Margaritaville Pickleball National Championships.
Indeed.
My name is Noah Saraban, also known as the Pickleball Doctor in the pickleball community. I'm here with Lauren McLaughlin. Did I say that right?
Indeed, you did,
I'm getting better. I'm getting better. We are here for a men's doubles pro match coming up to you, we have Riley Newman and Nick Williams taking on Eden Lica and Andre Daescu. This is a huge match because the winner of this one will advance to the winner's bracket final, which takes place tomorrow. So whatever team wins right now gets a break until tomorrow for the action for the final 4 teams. So this is a big one.
This is indeed. Both these teams are going to be hoping to call it a day after this one.
We saw Riley Newman yesterday in the mixed pro doubles getting a silver medal here at the national championships.
That was
very
quite
impressive
the
play with his
match.
sister.
Ooh,
He's
that was
playing
a
with
good
Nick
one.
Williams. This is a very solid team. Both players sponsored by Selkirk. They are
Also one of our big sponsors of the tournament.
big sponsor of the tournament here. Riley is known for his defense, probably some of the best defense in the game. Nick has all kinds of shots available to him in order to create offense as well. So this team is very dangerous. And Eden Lica and Andre Daescu really showing some good stuff today, able to
They have.
stay in the winner's bracket. They beat Brian Ashworth and Zane Navratil, and are really showing that they have a variety of shots available to them.
They sure
They're
do.
both tall players, big background in tennis. And
Eden, a big singles player as well.
Eden, huge singles player, so this is
Like,
gonna be
like
every
loves
way.
playing singles,
In
but
every
also
way. Just
A huge
huge.
guy.
He's
He's
just
a-
huge all around.
he's a large
Yes.
human being who
He's
plays
just
singles.
incredible Hulk.
Indeed, indeed.
I think that's fair to say about a number of the guys out here on the court. Andre Daescu. I mean, like, if I'm Morgan Evans right now, I'm out there. I'm looking around. I mean, I see the sort of, okay, we're wearing matching shirts. That's cool. Our hats are similar paddles. Like, I feel pretty good about that. Oh, that's not Morgan.
I literally was like, why are
Sorry.
you talking about Morgan?
From the back,
Let's
from a
take
distance
a minute
there.
here. Mark
Let's
has
take a minute.
Mark has just come back from the
He
Tiki
just
Hut.
came back. He
If
didn't
you
know
need-
what was happening.
If you are at the
There's
venue,
Nick Williams out there, actually.
if you need, if
Don't
you're
you think? Okay, from behind.
I do agree. I will give it
Similar
to you.
body type,
From
little-
behind, I can see a Morgan
You know what? We're deep into the tournament here, and
from about 300 feet away, you might be
Spence.
right, Mark. But if you're on the grounds, make sure you check out the Tiki Hut for a nice cold beverage. They're serving margaritas all day, starting at 7 a.m.
That's not true.
That's not
I
true.
was like, that can't be true.
you know what?
I feel like that's irresponsibly untrue.
But you know what? It is terrific being here at the Indian Wells Tennis
I
Garden.
thought it was Margaritaville.
What is the Indian Wells Tennis Garden? And we're here at the Margaritaville USA Pickleball National Championships of 2019. And right now we're looking forward to Nick Williams alongside Riley Newman playing against Eden Lica and Andre. Say it again for me. Daescu.
I'm gonna go with Daescu.
Daescu.
I think there's probably a little Romanian or
Okay.
something.
He's
back
Romanian.
there.
Andre
He's
Daescu.
Romanian. I remember playing him last year in Atlanta, and he was rocking the Romanian wristband,
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Excellent.
sweatband.
Ah.
Yeah.
Which you said Nick Williams was like the young one out here. How old is Nick? He doesn't look that young.
Who moved like a youngster.
I mean, sure, but when you say speaking of
One of the things
kids on the court,
One of the things that's interesting to watch about Williams, he holds the paddle quite far up on the handle, as you see him applying here the red wristband. That means he's the first server.
the Fila wristband.
Fila Pickleball, the official
So if I
clothing,
may interject
footwear,
here,
and wristband
of the tournament.
provider of the tournament.
Indeed.
I called the match earlier with Andre and Eden, and they were playing Brian Ashworth and Zane Navratil,
Yes, Navratil.
And
Another youngster.
Indeed,
It
a
seemed-
true youngster.
it seemed like whenever Zane and Brian were patient, they came out successfully out of all those rallies, because those
Agreed.
two are happy to speed the ball up and play a kind of bang-bang game here. So we'll see what strategy Riley and Nick Williams bring into this game.
Andre has some pretty intimidating Ernies as well. Just crushes the ball.
All right. These players are going to get ready to serve here. They had a couple of dinks back and forth. Meanwhile, we see referee Byron Frezzo step on the court. He's a man who knows how to control a match.
Indeed.
Nick
Love me
Williams.
some Byron.
Nick Williams getting ready to serve here on the right side of the court. Riley Newman has his forehand in the middle, and on the other side of the net, Andre Daescu with his forehand in the middle, and Eden Lica with the backhand. Daescu using his forehand early.
I mean, look at that.
And we just talked about what a defensive player Riley Newman is, and showing it this first point.
Eden Lica, you'll see he'll typically use that backhand for his third shot drop. He can hit it off the forehand side as well, but prefers the side spin, the little back spin that comes from that slice. Lauren, I feel like you're going to have feelings about that nice pink shirt out there.
I was gonna say that it's nice to see a little pink out there.
I
in
like
that
a little
sea of
variety.
blue.
Little variety. I like it.
When your muscles are that size, you can wear whatever color you want, let's be honest.
Eden Lica is someone who's really been making a name for himself on the pickleball court, and of course having a long reach is a huge advantage.
I don't just like look at those dudes, man.
Yeah.
I
mean,
feel like
like-
it's one of those situations where, like, from our vantage point, like, they look like big dudes, but if I go stand next to them, like, I will come up to, like, their elbows.
Yeah, well, they sort of cancel each other out, and when you're watching them on camera, you can sort of see. But we were talking earlier, all jokes aside, about sort of the evolution of the game of pickleball in terms of tactics and technique. As we see Nick Williams, a nice counterattack with a backhand there.
For a point.
The evolution of technique, the evolution of tactics, but one of the other things we're seeing is how the players coming into pickleball who are doing well on the Pro Tour, who are applying pressure, who are real names to be reckoned with, I mean, they're not getting smaller. For the most part, we're seeing players who are coming out who are making a splash getting bigger. And so that wingspan is a real advantage. The height they have, the ability to reach high when a ball gets lobbed, reaching forward from the kitchen line to be able to attack a ball before it drops too low. It's, you know, right now, tall players, for the most part, they have an advantage.
However, tall players don't like to move their feet as much, and they're not as mobile. And what we saw in the previous match here is that whenever the team made Andre and Eden move around the court, it usually created some mistakes. And so we'll see if Nick Williams and Riley Newman here can move their dinks around and create some unforced errors. Andre takes over that middle ball and puts it away for his second server here, Riley. 3-0-2.
The VIP section's getting a little rowdy back here, Mark.
Crowd is
They're
trickling
having
in.
a good time.
Oh, Riley gets there. Nice
And
reset.
interesting.
We've talked about all
Shot.
day.
Look at that. There we go. And so there's a nice
wow.
example. We saw this earlier. As you saw Lica go down the line with that backhand attack. And as that pulled Williams a little bit to his left, what Riley Newman did is he went to his left as well to cover that middle of the court hole. And that, of course, opens up the right side of the court. And so that nice 1-2 punch from Lica means that right now they get the ball back, and that is their first point. 1-3-1.
We've seen this all day and really all week. These pro players are so good at resetting the ball when they're in trouble. Whenever they feel like they're at a disadvantage, they will soften the ball up into the kitchen, bringing their team back over to the net.
I think this is one of the favorite patterns here of Andre Daescu, that backhand to backhand dinking rally. He doesn't love the ball in on his
He
forehand hit.
handcuffed him, Mark.
Handcuffed.
Handcuffed.
You like that one this week?
I learned that from you.
There you go. Well, it's
yeah.
true, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's in close to your body.
absolutely.
You don't have enough room to work. You'd rather have a little bit more distance, more separation between your body and the ball. And that's why the players hit. This little side note related to pickleball earlier today. I have 3 marks on my body, 3 major welts that will be bruises. And guess where they all are?
Your hip?
Right side of the hip. Every single one.
Ooh.
Right side.
Are you saying you got
3 separate
handcuffed?
ones. It's worse than that.
You got body bags.
It was worse
It's
than
a handcuff
Yeah.
body bag
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice after this tournament's over. Have some memories here on my body.
Indeed.
Yeah, love it.
4-1-1 here, Riley serving. Look at the reach. It makes it so hard to drop the ball short into the kitchen when you've got two giants on the other side.
I mean, there's nowhere safe to play that third shot drop.
No.
So how do you decide, like, honestly, so you've got two guys, about equal skill level on both sides. They're both roughly the same height. They've got a long reach.
Oh, wow,
how,
Nick.
that's a shot.
That was like a 3-fer.
So, Mark,
So, Noah, how do you decide where to play that drop?
so looking at this here, if I were Riley and Nick Williams, I would focus on getting my serve as deep as I can in the court, as Nick doesn't do that there. In order to challenge the returner to have less time to get to that net. If they can push them back on their serves, I would definitely drop the ball to whoever returns the serve, because they might not be quite at the net like their partner would be.
Okay.
Giving them a little. You want to take that reach away, and one way to do that is to serve the ball deep with maybe a little bit more pace, keeping them away from the net.
Right. So hoping, and as you mentioned earlier, Lauren, is the taller players' movement is not always their strong suit, and so by playing that serve a little bit deeper, perhaps they don't get to the kitchen line in time. So you've got a little bit more separation, a little bit more room to work with when you play that drop. Okay, well, I'm going to push you a little bit here on this one, Noah.
I'm
Hypothetical.
listening. I'm here.
I mean, these guys know how to buy themselves time if they need it, right? They play that return a little bit higher. They use a little backspin, so it goes a bit slower. So let's assume both Daescu and Lica are at the net. They're at the line as you're getting ready to hit your drop.
Right.
Now what?
Well, you've got to go cross court. I mean, they both have great reach. If you go cross court, there's a little bit more room for error, right? The diagonal is longer than the straight ahead. If you go diagonal, you also take away the possibility of an Ernie on the third shot, which Andre likes to come around his forehand there. So I would go cross court, aiming probably for someone's backhand, just to give yourself a little bit of time to get up to that line.
Riley.
Unforced error there, uncharacteristic from Riley Newman, leading to the second server here.
He's definitely a little frustrated with that. He had the shot he wanted.
However, they're still up 5-2. Nick Williams serving.
Eden Lica lets that ball go long.
That
Well
would
done.
also be another option, is to elect to drive the ball if you feel like your drops are just too long.
Right, or just the two players are too big.
Yeah.
You just drive it at them. While players who are taller do have a longer reach, they also sometimes have a little more trouble handling balls in tight to their body, so the drive could be an option. I'm kind of with you, Noah. When you play that drop cross court, you're playing over lower part of the net, and you're giving yourself a little more distance, because on the diagonal, you have more room to work with. And I think that's probably a good lesson for most pickleball players, whether you're playing here with the pros or not, is that unless you have a good reason to play that drop down the line, as you said, the player may be off the line, maybe it's the weaker player you're trying to target. Unless you have a good reason to go down the line, generally speaking, all things being equal, cross-court drops typically are higher percentage shots because of that distance and because of that lower net in the middle.
Another thing they can consider is to do a combination of driving that third shot, leading into a fifth shot drop, because maybe they're now a little bit closer to the net on the fifth shot, making the drop easier against people so tall like this. Oh, that ball might have been going out, but coming a little too fast towards Andre's face there. He had to react.
You're looking right now 6-4-1 here, and if you're just joining us, you're watching men's pro doubles here at the 2019 Margaritaville USA Pickleball National Championships. Riley Newman and Nick Williams playing against Andre Daescu and Eden Lica. And Newman wants to finish off the point. He got it going there, speeding it up with his forehand. Williams happy to oblige, gets out of the way. That overhead gets put away, and that's going to force a timeout from Lica and Daescu. And while they take a timeout, we're going to take one as well. Back in a moment, Mark Renison, Noah Saraban, and Lauren McLaughlin, live at Nationals.
Time in, 7-4-1.
We are back here live at the USAPA Pickleball Nationals. Nick Williams and Riley Newman jumping to an early lead in this game one, 7-4-2.
7-4-2.
Nick Williams serving to Andre Daescu.
Andre and Eden actually almost tied it up. They were at 4-5.
We've seen that two
They
or
were
three
able to get
times
it
now, where Riley is pinching into the middle with his two-handed backhand, and somehow Eden Lica is able to hit a cross-court shot that Riley cannot get to. So
a little bit on display yesterday in the mixed doubles, where Riley, there's
There it is
another example
again.
there, no? Where Riley teamed up with sister Lindsay Newman, and she really did a great job of covering that left side of the court. Riley took over responsibilities in the middle, as we're seeing here. But you're right, that does open up the cross court. And if he's not quick enough to get to the ball,
and there it is again.
Wow.
it's almost like you
Yeah.
predicted it.
It's like the 4th time.
Great defense leading to offense for Riley Newman, but somehow Eden Lica with a little inside-out backhand, I believe, was able to go wide on Riley Newman and just win that point.
5-7-1.
Just
wide. Five, 7-2 here.
5-7-2.
Ball goes just long. Quick reminder, if you're watching us on Facebook, Lauren,
Yes, Mark.
I know you're watching us on Facebook.
I am indeed.
Like and subscribe.
They can like on
7-5.
I
Facebook.
already liked.
They can subscribe on YouTube, by the way. We have hit
Indeed.
more than 1,000 subscribers.
Uh-oh. I know what that means.
Nabbit.
I know, but what I was really going to say, I mean, the subscribers thing is nice, and the
Oh,
like
yeah.
thing is nice. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good for the tournament. It's
Yeah.
good for us.
Mhm.
But you know what's really good for us?
What?
Is when people talk to us.
8-5-1.
That is so true. I do love to see everyone's comments,
Yeah.
questions,
Tell us what you like.
thoughts,
Yeah, try to
compliments.
like compliments
et cetera.
only. No
Yep.
criticism.
Unwelcome.
Even if it's
Take them
constructive.
elsewhere.
8-5-2.
This is
So-
not a democracy, people.
No. But no, in all seriousness, we do love to hear from you. So if you are watching on Facebook, we're keeping an eye on those comments. So let us know who you are, where you're watching from, what the pickleball scene is like where you are, what you're enjoying about this match.
Oh.
Wow, I'm
Great.
enjoying that little backhand flick by Andre Daescu there.
Mm-hmm.
Right down the
And-
line.
yeah.
Backhand roller.
Yeah, let us know.
Tough to execute. But he did, and that earns them the side out. 5-8-1.
5-8-1.
They're definitely not letting Riley and Nick roll away with this one, that's for sure.
We've got Dornick is watching.
Oh, from Romania.
Constanta, my favorite Romanian city.
And Kevin
Consenta.
likes pina coladas.
There you go.
I also enjoy a pina colada, Kevin.
Jerry, I'm glad you enjoy this broadcast. We try to, the trick here is to try to find the balance between bringing the best sort of analysis that we can here. That's one of the reasons why we have such knowledgeable guests throughout the course of the tournament, and also making it something that you enjoy listening to, no matter whether you're a pro player, as we see Catherine Peronto is there watching with us, talking about pro players.
I do love me some Catherine.
Ernesto Farhado, pro player. Or whether you're aspiring to be a pro.
Or your Gabby watching from Switzerland.
Yeah, we love it. Marius Mitrofan. We got Damon Little. Shout out to Damon, big Instagram fan. Like what he's doing out there. Really keen young man who's doing a lot of cool things in pickleball.
He's watching in the airport.
Can't wait to see you here, Damon. Oh, I think I know that guy. We're going to talk about him for a moment right after this great point. You see a little soft game action. We haven't seen a lot of this
We
here in
have
this
not.
match.
Not many long dink rallies like this.
Gotta say, it's probably not Lica's favorite. There you go. He speeds it up first, and you can see why.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh, Nicholas.
That is the second or third ball that Nick has just dug out of nowhere. as I was saying earlier, I think
Oh.
an extending dinking rally is going to favor Riley and Nick.
I agree.
I think their endurance level is just.
You know what? You know what? Williams and Newman just testing the waters there. Just want to see how it's going. They're up 9-5.
Got their first sort of healthy lead. Oh, there it is.
Is that what we were
He's
talking
been
about before?
burned 5 times.
Yeah.
This game alone on that.
Lauren McLaughlin, statistician here in the booth.
That's what I do. That's what I'm here for.
It's a risk-reward thing there, but Riley going for the
I know.
poach, and just Eden is ready every time.
I mean, luckily it hasn't resulted in a lot of points against him. So that's been the good thing about it.
Well, there are times to take risks in pickleball, and there are times not to. And when you're up 9-5 on your own serve.
Oh, nice, Nick.
We had a question here for me, actually. Thanks, Heather
Uh-oh.
Olsen-Myers, about whether you can use a continental grip of putting one finger up along the rim of the paddle, or it'd be better to learn without it. Yeah, you can definitely, Heather, play using a continental grip with that finger up there. You can. Oh, there's a tweener, reverse tweener. I wouldn't recommend it. And because typically if you're going to put your finger up there on the edge, it probably means you've got to hold pretty far up on the handle. And that's going to reduce the leverage you have when we're going to stay here during this timeout. That's going to reduce the leverage you have. So it's true, as you make the paddle you're using effectively by choking up on it, you make it a little bit shorter. It's a little more maneuverable. It also gives you a bit less leverage. So all things being equal, when you're holding further up on the handle, you can't generate as much speed as you can if you're holding further down. So it's a bit of a risk reward, as you mentioned earlier, Noah. And but I mean, to me personally, when I'm coaching and someone has that finger up there, like, it's not a red flag. I'm not going to say you're doing it wrong. I'm not going to say you can't use that grip. You certainly can. But you'll see none of these players out here holding the paddle with their finger.
Indeed.
That
You
far
do
up.
see it every once in a while, but I would like to give a quick shout out here to Andrea Ingvelson from Wausau, Wisconsin, who says she likes my voice, Mark.
You know what?
I like you, Andrea, everything
Fun-
about you.
fun
Thank
fact.
you. Yes,
Lauren sent me a voice memo.
I
About
did.
18 minutes of her reading the phone book, and every night I use
Oh,
that
yes,
to
I
fall
do
asleep.
recall this. Yep.
Right now, Williams and Newman,
Ooh.
they're not asleep. They've got a game point here. That's going to be the second server. 10-5-2.
10-5-2.
She does have a nice voice. Last night,
Thank you. Oh, Riley.
he didn't like it, knows what to do with that high ball. Last night we had Irina Tereshchenko here in the booth. We were watching some of the great gold medal matches, and someone messaged us on Facebook. They said, "Oh, my daughter's listening, and she doesn't follow pickleball, but she heard Irina's voice, and she said, oh, whoever's speaking right now, she sounds like she is very kind."
Oh, that's so nice.
And
She is very kind.
I mean, it was a correct assessment.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Right there, Williams correctly assessed the ball that was coming towards him, redirected to the open court. It's going to
5-10-2.
into Lica serving here. 5-10-2. He and Daescu have some work to do to hang on here in game number 1 in this men's doubles pro event. That's going to be a side out.
Matthew Sparks writing, do you think Riley would be more of a threat with an increased reach if he went to a one-handed backhand?
He cannot do that, though.
It's true. He physically cannot do it
Riley Newman's-
because of the way he grips his paddle.
Riley Newman holds the paddle in such a way that he needs his other hand in order to hit a backhand, so that will never happen.
We'll talk more about that grip afterwards. Right now, he uses that grip to spin the serve in and that drive. They've got a game point here. 10-5-2. Andre Daescu finishes him off. So tell us quickly, Noah, what is it about the grip that means he can't hit one hand on the backhand?
What does he have, an Eastern grip, right?
He has a
Western.
semi-western.
Semi-Western,
forehand grip.
okay.
It's creeping toward a full Western.
Yeah, yeah. Just his wrist would be biomechanically in a disadvantaged position if he tried to hit a backhand with one hand. He would not be able to generate any power or topspin just because of the position of his wrist. So he uses that offhand in order to generate that spin and create power as well. So
Quite effective in his particular style, so works out for him.
That's right. Okay, these players are going to go to a quick timeout. We're going to go quick timeout too. We're going to be back in a second. More Mark Renison, Noah Saraban, Lauren McLaughlin live at Nationals.
6, 10, 1.
we are back here live at Nationals, the 2019 Margaritaville USAPA Pickleball National Championships. This is game 1.
6, 10, 2.
Eden Lica and Andre Daescu are down 6-10, second server, to Nick Williams and Riley Newman.
Nick Williams is a magic man out there picking up some of these points. I'll tell you what.
He's a defense
My
machine.
Goodness.
Both of these guys, Riley Newman and Nick Williams, so good at defense. Very hard to put balls away on them. 7-10-2. Let's see if they can put a couple of points together here and get back in this one. And right as I say that, unforced error leading to the side out.
See if they can hold him off here.
Game point here. Ball's called out. Second server.
Oh, they just got to drop it in there and get up to the line.
It is
They're
hard.
being held back a lot.
It is hard to close out opponents sometimes, especially at this level.
Oh
and
my.
another side
Ooh,
out.
Nick not happy with that.
Once again, difficult to drop the ball on these tall opponents here, and they earn another side out. 7-10-1.
I hear Mark Renison crinkling in the background.
Another missed
Creeping around.
dink there by Eden Lica. He is not going to be happy with that one. 7-10-2.
It's been a bit of a battle just finishing out this game here on either side. Oh boy.
That might be trouble.
What? Nick Williams.
Oh, he's trying
That
to
is
play the
just
drop.
unreal.
Looks like Lindsay Newman out there.
I literally was thinking if anyone's going to give Newman a run for their money on defense, it's going to be Newman Williams.
And with that, Andre Daescu puts that away for a point, and they are now down 8-10-2, trying to get this back to even. Nick Williams giving Riley a signal to switch, but he is the returner of serve.
8, 10, 2.
8-10-2.
Oh, catches right in there.
Eden Lica goes with the forehand speed up down the middle and caught Riley, who was waiting on his backhand. 9-10-2.
Kevin Dorsey asks.
Andre with the poach. Oh. Side
Kevin
out.
Dorsey asks an excellent question. What NFL team does Eden play for when he's not playing pickleball?
Any team he wants.
I think the Raiders. That's what I heard in his downtime.
I think he's got a multi-team contract.
Exactly. Whoever needs him.
And look at this.
Ooh.
Oh, and with that, Riley Newman and Nick
Finally.
Williams take game 1,
Yowza.
11-9. That was entertaining.
That was entertaining.
That was a hard-fought win right there for that game, I tell you what.
All right, well, you know what? You two earlier, you took over responsibilities while I had some showering to do. I've got something else to do right now. We're going to go do a little interview with some of our favorite sponsors here, including the title sponsor of this event, Margaritaville.
Wow.
So,
Don't get too sauced, Mark.
So I'm gonna say goodbye for a few minutes. Thanks, Lauren.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna say goodbye for a few minutes, and we're gonna go a quick timeout, and then we'll come back. Noah and Lauren will be with you, and I'll be back
right.
when we can. Meanwhile, my money is on Byron Frezzo busting out a few moves in a minute.
I sure hope so. I hope he sings, too.
Okay, quick timeout. We'll be back in a second. Mark Renison, Noah Saraban, and Lauren McLaughlin live at Nationals.
All right, we're about to get this game 2 started here.
We're back live at Nationals, the 2019 Margaritaville USA Pickleball National Championships. My name is Noah Saraban. I'm here with Lauren McLaughlin.
Yes, indeed, and we are starting game 2 of this men's Pro Open doubles division.
If you're
First
just
one going to Riley Newman and Nick Williams. Hard-fought battle, 11-9 final score.
If you're just tuning in, there were some great points.
Oh.
And Riley says, no, no, and don't go to my forehand.
Right to the chest.
Body bags. Andre Daescu there, right back at him.
And I got a good reminder from someone on Facebook. It's not Eden, it's Eden.
It's Eden.
Lica.
Okay.
Lica? Lica?
Lica, I think. Eden
Eden,
Lica.
indeed.
Interesting.
Thank you for the correction, Laurel.
Let's see how long he goes with this dinking battle here.
As you've mentioned, Eden and Andre not a big fan of dinking for too terribly long.
Well, don't get me wrong, they can dink for days, but and once again, Riley coming over to the middle.
I'm gonna start
with his
count right now.
backhand
That's the first one.
and opening up that right side of the court, and Eden is able to react and place that ball wide, out of reach for Riley. 0-0-2.
All right, this is a good question for you now.
I'm listening.
Stamus, I hope I'm saying that correct, wants to know what an inside-out shot is.
Okay, so an inside-out shot is when you are hitting the ball and it doesn't go where you think it's going to go. You kind of go from the inside of your body to the outside, leading oftentimes to misdirection shots, making it more difficult for your opponent as we see this crazy defensive point here.
The crowd is...
Another drop shot.
Gosh! Oh my
He
gosh,
got
it went
to
over! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
This is an amazing point here.
Oh!
And Williams for the winner.
Riley
Unbelievable defense
asked
by
the crowd, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
the crowd goes wild here as they're trickling in. It's filling up more and more here on center court.
Everyone's had their margaritas. They are ready to have a good time here on center court.
So to finish answering that question about the inside out, oftentimes when people follow through with their paddle, they will go across their body, and when you go inside out, you likely will not do that as much, and the ball will take a flight path that is not the typical flight path that you would expect off the paddle.
Almost a bit of a semicircle instead, because you're kind of coming inside and then going outside, thus the inside out.
Right. Score is 1-2-1 here. Eden Lica serving to Riley Newman. Oh, missed return, uncharacteristic by Riley Newman.
Oh, and we got a
he's
timeout.
not happy with that, going to a timeout early on in game 2. We're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be right back here live at Nationals. Nick Williams giving Riley a signal to switch, but he is the returner of serve.
8-10-2.
8-10-2.
Oh, catches right in there.
Eden Lica goes with the forehand speed up down the middle and caught Riley, who was waiting on his backhand. 9-10-2.
Kevin Dorsey asks.
Andre with the poach. Oh, side
Kevin
out.
Dorsey asks an excellent question. What NFL team does Eden play for when he's not playing pickleball?
Any team he wants.
I think the Raiders. That's what I heard in his downtime.
I think he's got a multi-team contract.
Exactly. Whoever needs him.
And look at this.
Ooh.
Oh, and with that, Riley Newman and Nick
Finally.
Williams take game 1,
Yowza.
11-9. That was entertaining.
That was entertaining.
That was a hard-fought win right there for that game, I tell you what.
All right, well, you know what? You two earlier, you took over responsibilities while I had some showering to do. I've got something else to do right now. We're going to go do a little interview with some of our favorite sponsors.
All right, we're about to get this game 2 started here.
We're back live at Nationals, the 2019 Margaritaville USA Pickleball National Championships. My name is Noah Saraban. I'm here with Lauren McLaughlin.
Yes, indeed, and we are starting game 2 of this men's Pro Open doubles division.
If you're
First
just
one going to Riley Newman and Nick Williams. Hard fought battle, 11-9 final score.
If you're just tuning in, there were some great points.
Oh.
And Riley says no, and don't go to my forehand.
Right to the chest.
Body bags. Andre Daescu there, right back at him.
And I got a good reminder from someone on Facebook. It's not Eden, it's Eden.
It's Eden.
Lica.
Okay.
Lica? Lica?
Lica, I think. Eden Lica.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Thank you for the correction, Laurel.
Let's see how long he goes with this dinking battle here.
As you've mentioned, Eden and Andre not a big fan of dinking for too terribly long.
Well, don't get me wrong, they can dink for days, but and once again, Riley coming over to the middle
I'm gonna start
with his
count right now.
backhand
That's the first one.
and opening up that right side of the court, and Eden is able to react and place that ball wide, out of reach for Riley. 0-0-2.
All right, this is a good question for you now.
I'm listening.
Stamus, I hope I'm saying that correct, wants to know what an inside-out shot is.
Okay, so an inside-out shot is when you are hitting the ball and it doesn't go where you think it's going to go. You kind of go from the inside of your body to the outside, leading oftentimes to misdirection shots, making it more difficult for your opponent as we see this crazy defensive point here.
The crowd is...
Another drop shot.
Gosh! Oh my
He
gosh,
got
it
to
went
it.
over! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
This is an amazing point here.
Oh!
And Williams for the winner.
Riley
Unbelievable defense
asked
by
the crowd, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
the crowd goes wild here as they're trickling in. It's filling up more and more here on center court.
Everyone's had their margaritas. They are ready to have a good time here on center court.
So to finish answering that question about the inside out, oftentimes when people follow through with their paddle, they will go across their body, and when you go inside out, you likely will not do that as much, and the ball will take a flight path that is not the typical flight path that you would expect off the paddle.
Almost a bit of like a semicircle instead, because you're kind of coming inside and then going outside, thus the inside out.
Right. Score is 1-2-1 here. Eden Lica serving to Riley Newman. Oh, missed return, uncharacteristic by Riley Newman.
Oh,
And
we got a
he's not
timeout.
happy with that, going to a timeout early on in game 2. We're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be right back here live at Nationals.
Ooh.
And we're back live at Nationals. Riley Newman and Nick Williams taking an early timeout here in game 2 after an unforced error by Riley on their serve. Maybe he had to grab his towel and recollect there before they move on.
You know, just
Score has been called, and once the score is called, the server has 10 seconds to serve the ball before a fault is called.
Oh, good duck by Eden there.
So early lead here, 3-2-1. Eden and Andre trying to get back in this match, pushing it back to 3 to a third game in order to move on in this bracket. Remember, this is a huge match, as the winner of this match moves on to the winner's bracket final and gets to play tomorrow. Does not have to play any more matches today. So either team here would love to come out with a win and have some rest until tomorrow. Score is 3-2-2.
Wow, nice backhand by Nick in that back corner.
A lot of topspin generated there by Riley Newman, leading to an unforced error there by Andre Daescu.
Daescu.
Oh, That is called the ankle breaker as Andre
like,
goes
Riley
back
almost
to
came out of his Nikes on that one.
goes back to Riley's forehand unexpectedly.
For a tall guy, he is one of the, as we mentioned, you know, the bigger guys, maybe not quite as mobile. Riley is a scamperer.
He moves around the court. Well, he's a former basketball player, so
Oh, yeah.
I know he's got that mobility. 3-2-1. Oh, unforced error by Nick Williams here. Leads to a point. Score is 4-2-1. So good start here in game 2 from Andre and Lica.
No.
And a little casual on that drop shot there. Leads to second server. 4-2-2.
Ooh, a lot of top spin on
Quick
that
side out here. 2-4-1, Nick Williams serving. Oh. High forehand, but Lica could not put that ball away. Leads to a point. Maybe a little fatigue coming into play here as we go deeper into the tournament.
I have heard him mention in the past that cardio is a big thing he's working on to make sure he has the stamina to stay in these games.
He's moving a lot of weight around there with that stature.
Those massive muscles, they must weigh a ton.
3-4-2. Drive by Nick Williams. And good job by Eden and Andre keeping the other team back, not letting them come up to the kitchen line and earning the side out. 4-3-1. Oh, and the ball's called out for a point. As we see on the replay, powered by Selkirk.
5-3-1.
5-3-1. Oh, high forehand again. Nick Williams showing a little bit of frustration there as they call a timeout. They're down 6-3 in the second game. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back here live at Nationals. We're back live here at Nationals. Noah Saraban, also known as the Pickleball Doctor, with Lauren McLaughlin.
Indeed, not a doctor. I cannot write you a prescription.
Well, me either, so that's good. Score is 6-3-1 here in game 2. Oh, well disguised backhand roller there by Nick Williams, hitting Lica. 6-3-2. And well done there by Eden and Andre Daescu.
Definitely taking control of this game too, I would say.
Up 7-3, yeah. Bounced back from that first game loss.
Might be going to a third.
Good spin there by Riley, leads to the missed drop shot by Andre. 3-7-1. Let's see if Riley and Nick Williams can respond here.
Well, they're definitely not going down without a fight, I know that.
Oh, again, a lot of spin on that ball. It's hard to see that at home sometimes, but these players put so much spin on the ball while dinking.
Like it jumped a little there.
It
Caught
jumped
Riley
on Riley a
off
little
guard.
bit, yep. Watch out for around the post. Oh, he thought he saw the opening
I thought
there.
he had it. I think he just maybe
Just missed it.
poorly executed a little
Sometimes people miss shots.
too angled in instead of going for that back corner.
Yep. 4-7-2. Oh, the ball trickles over. He's there.
Wow,
But
he got
unfortunately.
it, but Riley was there too.
Okay, a little bit of luck there on Riley and Nick Williams' side, pushing them back up to 5-2, 5-7 on the second server. Let's see if they can get a couple more. Good
That was
hands
a
battle
nice
there.
chicken wing by Nick there.
A little chicken wing. What flavor?
Probably like sweet and spicy.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna go with.
And just like that, it's 6-7-2 after being down 3-7. Nick
Crawling
Williams.
back. Oh.
Oh, look at the touch
Wow.
by Andre there. Faking the
you
hard hit.
often do not see a fake Ernie.
You do sometimes when Andre's involved. That was a great
that
fake
was
there.
fantastic. I thought I was just gonna take the cover off the ball, and instead, boop.
And part of what happened is that the drop was actually pretty good. And so
It was very close.
And so he did not have the opportunity to hit it hard and hit a nice soft drop shot there. Looking for the Ernie again.
Interesting.
Look at the hands. Riley got caught, but he got it.
Oh no, he still gets it. Ah! Oh my gosh.
What a point.
What?
What is going on here? Oh my goodness. Andre Daescu, after whiffing the overhead, is able to recover, drop the ball back in the kitchen, and he and Eden were able to come out and win that point. Great
what happens
playing.
when you have like a 7-foot vertical? You go up and then you have so much time to still get the ball after you miss it.
These players are going to take a timeout. We're going to stay with you on this one. Perfect weather. 8-6-1.
Game 2.
And out of the timeout, a missed drop shot. That happens more often than not. Teams maybe come out a little flat out of the timeout. 8-6-2. Let's see what happens here. Oh, he saw it.
He was coming for
He
it.
saw it.
Ooh, Riley
And
ready for
Lica
that one.
goes middle there, but Riley all over that.
He usually is.
He usually is.
Which is why he's caught him a couple times, sort of taking him behind, but not often are you going to catch Riley right down the middle. And you'll actually notice Riley and Eden are on the same side of the court this time, whereas last game they were cross court from each other, which is how Eden was able to take Riley down that line on the backside. So maybe that was part of Riley and Nick's adjustment for this game too. Oh, Nick ready for that one. Oh my, look at that man.
Great defense. Unfortunately, unable to finish there, but
Had a couple good ones before that one though.
7-8-1, 7-8-2, sorry.
Riley Newman serving, looking to
Great
tie this
return.
one up.
And
there it
gonna
is.
just be too high for Riley. Puts that ball away for a winner. The score is now 8-8-2. What a game. Nick Williams and
Andre
Riley
Eden.
Newman were down 3-7 and are
Yeah.
now back at 8-8
Let that lead slip away,
with an
which I'm sure they're not
opportunity
happy about.
opportunity to possibly close out this match. I'm sure Eden and Andre have different ideas. Oh,
Oh, nice job.
sails
by Nick.
long.
Matrixing that one.
Timeout is called by Andre and Eden here. We're going to stay here again. Local vendors as well.
All of our sponsors have some booths. Go check them out.
Score is 9-8-2.
And just like that, Nick and Riley take maybe their first lead they've had in a long time this game.
Riley is glad that ball trickled over.
Both of the Newmans, Riley and Lindsay, have some fun little dances they do on the court to help those balls go where they want them to do. So
So the
that's
side out
always
is
fun to
earned.
see.
Side out is earned, and it is now 8-9-1. Let's see if they can tie it up.
Oh, and now we see Riley and ooh, I was gonna say we see Riley and
believe
Eden cross
ball
court
was-
from each other now.
The ball was good, leading to a point. The
believe
score
it
is
was
9-9. This
indeed.
is what we saw in game one, 9-9 again. Exciting stuff.
This is gonna be down to the wire, I think.
Oh, and they take the lead at 10-9-1. We have a game point here.
You almost wonder, Riley, I feel like Riley should have gotten a forehand on that one, but he wasn't quite quick enough and instead went for the backhand really wide, which ended up resulting in that error. And this is game point here for game 2 to go to a tiebreak. Oh, can't do it in that serve. Let's see, they got another shot though. Let's see if Andre can take us to a tiebreaker here.
10-9-2. You can feel the tension. Oh, Andre went for it. He went for it.
That was risky. That was risky.
A risk-reward kind of situation there.
Fortunately, didn't pay off.
Let's see what happens.
Right.
Ball's a bit high, but short enough.
Oh, geez. Almost took
Players
each other out there.
colliding. And the ball is out.
Oh,
So 9-10-2.
Nick wanted to float that one in the back. Riley's going to need to put at least 1 point on the board here if they want to. Oh, excuse me, Nick's serving. If they want to. Oh, no.
Ball is left
Nick.
long.
2 long ones.
Side
both
out.
serves.
So we now have 2 serves for a game point. Let's see if they can capitalize and push this to a 3rd game. 10-9-1. 10-9-1.
Byron Frezzo, our ref for this match. Oh.
Great job there by Nick Williams.
Okay,
Seeing
all right.
Andre was looking for the poach and dinking cross court to keep him back on his side, leading to the unforced error. Nicely done there.
Oh, wow. All right. They have
A little bit of lack of
wasted
patience
now,
there. Lack of patience
3
there.
or 4 game point
Yep.
opportunities here, which is always very frustrating.
It is hard to close out these opponents. They are just so tough.
Just you feel the pressure so much more than on the defensive side.
The ball's
oh
out.
my goodness!
Once
these
again,
guys,
these balls are sailing, and they're doing a great job of not hitting
they
them.
just want to keep playing. We're at 48 minutes for this match now, and we have not closed out game 2 yet. If we go to a game 3, easily over an hour for this match.
Look at this point. Look at this.
my
They earn the
gosh.
side out
Woo, woo.
and have another opportunity to close out this game. 10-9-1.
If they don't get it done this time,
And there's always next time. A lot of spin on the ball.
oh boy.
Okay, a little relief there. The sun may have been a factor there.
Nick played it safe, let it drop. Oh, nice reset by Riley.
Wow. Last minute communication there. They need to be. Oh,
there it
and once
is.
again, Riley Newman
Wow.
pinching in middle. And
That's how
Lica,
he's got him so many times.
as we see this on the replay, able to
Ooh.
get him on the cross-court ball and win game 2. We're going to game 3, Lauren.
We're going to game 3.
Stay
Don't
tuned.
go anywhere, anybody.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back here live at Nationals. Noah Saraban and Lauren McLaughlin. We have a thriller here. Game 3, 0-0-1. Nick Williams and Riley Newman took game 1 11-9. Eden Lica and Andre Daescu came back and won game 2 11-9. And we are in for a treat here with game 3 on the way.
That last one was a hard-fought battle
Both of those
to
games
the
were.
end, so we're going to expect to see more of the same, I assume.
Look at that to start the first
Oh,
point.
God, who let this guy in?
Oh,
the
hey
booth?
guys, how's it going?
It's
Mark,
it's-
where have you
hey,
been?
it's Mark.
You know what? I'll tell you exactly where I was.
The Tiki Hut?
I'm not yet, Lauren. End of the-
Noah's really into the Tiki
not
Hut.
on the job. The Tiki Hut is really nice. You can get all sorts of ice cream there. Ice cream is delicious.
I had one
Some
earlier. It was
snacks.
delicious.
Little power salad. It's good.
Is that where they have the pretzels?
There are pretzels that you can get here. Actually, you know what? They have the sort of salty pretzels, but also cinnamon
Oh, my.
cinnamon sugar ones. They're really nice. In Canada, we have these special things called a beaver tail, which if you're lucky, I'll tell you about in a little bit. But right now we got something special on this match. I see 11-9, 9-11.
It is a thriller. You've
Yeah,
missed out on the
you
second game,
missed.
Mark.
I
You
know.
missed all the
Well, you know what? I saw a
action.
little bit from the side of the courts. We just did a terrific interview with the team over at Margaritaville, and we were talking a little bit about why they're here as a title sponsor and their connection to the tournament and all the cool things they offer. And it was really neat meeting up with Heather Jones and the team over there. But right now, it looks like you got two teams here who are locked in a pretty tough battle.
This is a nail biter.
First one, of course, going to Newman Williams.
And that drops in.
You guys think the
Second
sun is
one.
going to be an issue right now?
It was at some
I
point
think,
during one of those points last game.
A little bit. It's getting a little low in the sky. It's going to be getting a little more in people's eyes, I imagine. Which is why we will switch.
Look how quick Nick Williams is there.
Oh, wow.
Well,
I
Edmund
actually
played it,
thought he had reestablished himself. He just maybe thought that ball was going
I think
low.
he hoped it was.
yeah, I think you're right about that, Noah. Of course, when you go into the kitchen to get that ball, in that case a really short dink, if you get out, it's not just a matter of getting out, but you have to get out with both feet touching. And we saw yesterday in some of the mixed doubles action, Dave Weinbach, a couple times, similar situation. In this case, it wasn't a dink. He, in fact, was lobbed. And it happened 2 times at least where he was called, believe it or not, for a non-volley zone infraction 15 feet away from the net.
Right.
And that was because when that lob went up, as many players do, the athletic ones, they'll take a step forward, actually, into the kitchen to then push off to sort of explosively move back and then jump up and hit the ball. But what happens
like
is when you
pushed off into the air.
yeah,
to
so
get
what
it?
happens
Okay.
though is as you step forward and then you push off, that step forward takes you into the kitchen, and you're only officially out of the kitchen once both feet have touched down, as you said.
Kind of like a
second
football
ago.
touchdown.
Reestablished,
feet have to be down.
both feet have to get down. And what happened, Weinbach twice in that match yesterday, and he didn't dispute it because he trusted his referee Nicole Hobson, who was out there holding court. And yeah, he stepped in, pushed off, jumped up, hit the ball, hit it for a winner, but because he never got that initial foot that stepped into the kitchen back down on the ground, wasn't reestablished, and from 15 feet away from the net was called for a kitchen violation twice.
Meanwhile, we just had the first point of the game, so you know this is going to be a, long, hard-fought match here.
Already at 55 minutes here for this match, and we're just
55
getting-
minutes, and we're just at the beginning of number 3.
Yep.
This is a
I mean, just think about it.
It's a grind.
Sometimes in
It's
tennis
gonna be a long
tournaments,
one.
matches last an hour and a half,
Sure.
and they only have one per day. Here, these guys have to go all day playing match after match, so endurance is definitely a factor as Riley Newman puts that ball away with authority.
That's a good point, Noah, that you've got to be ready to grind out here. And this is one of the reasons why the teams, 64 teams in this men's pro doubles draw, is that the top 4 finishers from today, they're going to hold off. They're going to be playing tomorrow as we watch those final 4, which is an interesting aspect of this tournament. Not all the tournaments do that. Wow, we saw 2 Ernies in 1 point. Andre Daescu, he was all over it and get a little fist pump after it.
And Mark, you may have been on break, but we mentioned that this is a huge match because the winner of this match gets to play tomorrow and does not have to play anymore today.
They will be in the final 4.
They will be in the final 4. So that is both teams really want this W right here.
And if you're in the stands, you probably feel it, but there is a breeze kicking up here. Feel it up in the booth here. This feels like the kind of a breeze that could potentially affect some balls if it's on the court as breezy as it is up here. Ooh,
Nicely
Riley.
done by Riley, forcing the side out.
Look at that, Riley yelling at the players' box over there, even though they won the point. Maybe saying, what have I got to do to beat these guys? Well, they're finding a way, at least in that last exchange they did. We had one of our favorite pickleball referees, Revel Revity, reminding us about the difference between a rally and a point. You win a rally if you're the receiving team who comes out on top after an exchange. You win a point only when you win a point.
Well,
when
I
you're the one who
why
comes out on
Rebel
top when you're
is
serving. I know.
I
The
think that
best.
any exchange can be called a rally. However, you only score a point if you're the serving
I
team.
know, but
That's the way
I mean
look at it.
personally, like I guess I fall in, maybe it's a trap, personal development area. There's no personal development needed right there as Andre Daescu steps around that corner and puts away the high ball with his long forehand. Yeah, I mean, you know, point.
I
That's
agree.
the
I
tendency. It's like,
probably
hey,
call-
so-and-so
I call
wins the
everything a
point, but they don't get a
Right.
point, but they won the
Indeed.
point. But I get you. Meanwhile, I'm going to figure out what the proper terminology is for all these pickleball shots. We're going to take a quick timeout as these players do as well. Back in a second, live at Nationals. Mark Renison, Noah Saraban, and Lauren McLaughlin.
We are back here live at Nationals. Mark Renison, Lauren McLaughlin, and Noah Saraban here. We've got a close one, game 3. Let's see how patient Eden can be here.
Pretty solid out there, isn't he? Looks pretty relaxed. Happy to go into that cross-court exchange with Williams.
That might be trouble, though.
That was a nice pull to the outside there, that backhand.
As we look at the
2-1-2.
let's look at the team of Daescu
What's going on
and
over here?
Lica.
Ball
What's
was
going
long.
on is that ball sails a little bit long, side out. Actually, I would argue that this is kind of the time of day where the sun starts to be a little bit tricky if you're on the far side of that court from here in the booth. As it starts to get a little bit lower, I mean, when the sun is straight up, you know, midday, it's difficult on those lobs. But of course, in pro-level pickleball, you don't see a ton of lobs. Oh, there it is again.
Great anticipation
Loves
by Andre
it.
there.
Loves it.
And don't forget that as the sun goes down, we start seeing shadows on the court, which can also affect your,
Yep.
your shots. So,
At nighttime, you got the lights out here, but these lights here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden is such high quality that there's very few shadows, actually,
Oh, yeah.
with all the lights on. But you're right. Someone should talk about the sun, how to sort of even it out a little bit so you get less sharp edges.
and you know, it's what an amazing venue we are at here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. But one of the disadvantages with these big tournaments is when you have such big bleachers, it also brings shadows onto the court, which sometimes can be a little distracting for the players. But at this level, I'm sure they can handle it.
Goodness, Nicholas.
Unbelievable defense there, but just too much. The overhead of Andre was just hard to handle there. Side out, 2-3-1. Both of these teams are going to have to dig deep, I think, in order to win this one. Andre coming over. Take that ball. Oh, the ball is good.
Oh, that was good.
Riley overrules the call there, saying the ball was good, leading to a point.
3-3-1.
All tied up here in game 3
3-3-1.
as we cross the hour mark.
Andre looking to poach. Just wasn't there. Wow. Oh,
Just
Andre looking to
wide.
go back down the line. But the ball was wide, leading to the second server. Score is 3-3 on a 2. Nick Williams signaling the switch to his partner Riley, and a little laid back on that third shot by Eden Lica, leading to a side out.
3-3-1.
I'm pretty sure that both of you have heard about the non-volley zone.
I have indeed.
But are you familiar with the volley zone? The volley zone is a lightweight, flexible performance pickleball shoe. It's been heralded by both professional and recreational players for its seamless blend of comfort, performance, and, of course, important, I know you love this, Lauren, style.
Oh, I do love a stylish anything.
That must be what you are wearing right now, Mark.
I am, in fact, actually, it's true. The Volley Zone is Fila's first ever performance pickleball shoe featuring herringbone rubber outsole.
Look at that defense. Oh.
And the shoe also
4-3-2.
has added traction and durability because of that herringbone rubber outsole. Pivot areas in the forefront of the shoe for added traction, and an energized midsole for extra cushioning.
Ed Lica is certainly energized by that shot right there.
He is, in fact. I don't. Maybe afterwards he'll head over to the Fila Pickleball booth here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden and check out the Volley Zone. That's Fila's first ever performance pickleball shoe.
I was really hoping it was like a trampoline park. You know,
The Volley Zone.
like I think it's called something else.
You know what? You could probably wear the Volley Zone pickleball shoe to a trampoline park.
Indeed.
Fly with it.
And
Meanwhile,
we just saw something a little bit interesting there on the court. I don't know if a lot of people caught that, but Edin Lica has missed maybe 2 or 3 drop shots in a row, and his partner Andre helped him on this previous one, came all the way over onto his side of the court to relieve him, maybe take a little bit of pressure off of him, and let his partner know, I got this drop shot. Let's get up to that line and try to win this point. And they do.
Wow.
ball goes just off of either where
Yeah,
the
looked almost like his-
where the head and the
Yeah,
handle of the
or his
paddle connect,
wrist,
or his
maybe?
wrist. And again, that's one of the disadvantages as you hold the paddle a little bit further up, as we see from Nicholas Williams, his tendency to do, especially when he gets up near the net here, holds it a little bit higher up.
Once
Yeah.
again, Andre coming all the way over to Edin's side there to take that third ball. Great patience here by all players. Nick decides to pull the trigger.
Oh,
And unfortunately, that was one too many there, as we see on the replay, powered by Selkirk. Leads to a point, 5-4-2 here in Game 3,
And the lead.
taking the lead.
Wow.
What an exchange here. And the point.
Oh my.
So again, Andre took the previous couple of third shot drops here, and it seems like Ed maybe regrouped and was able to take that third shot and successfully get his team up to the net to win the point. So the ability to put spin and respond to spin is a little bit tougher with a brand new ball. Sometimes it has a little more pop to it as well. And so, and it's also, they've been used to playing with that ball all match, and so now you suddenly change the ball on them, it might change the feel throughout the match as well. So, you know, you don't want a brand new ball usually, because it is just sometimes a little bit difficult to control compared to the ball you were playing with right before.
And control of is the name of the game here in this men's doubles pro event, as we see a nice backhand counterattack by Nicholas Williams.
Finally keeps one in.
I think he'll
Probably
like that
happy
ball
with
just
that.
fine.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. 4-6-1 is the score. Williams is going to serve. We see the backhand slice from Lica.
And a little miscommunication there between Riley and Nick.
How could you tell that, no?
Just facial expression by Nick Williams there, his late response, late positioning. Usually he's very good at being ready for that ball. It just seemed like he made a late adjustment in order to hit that third shot drop there. I think maybe he thought Riley would come over with his forehand to drop the ball in the kitchen, but meanwhile, Riley ready to drop that one, hits the net. Once again, cross-court, forehand to forehand dinking here. Goes around the post for a winner.
wow.
Beautifully done. Great patience by Edin Lica to let that ball go wide enough so that he can have the angle to go around the post.
And he waited until the absolute last second to hit that too.
6-4-1.
These stands are popping
And look
right
at-
now at Margaritaville.
Edin has now dialed in his third ball. He has not missed since early on in that.
Nick Williams and that chicken wing, I'll tell you what.
Spicy hot wings.
That's
Yeah,
spicy.
We changed from sweet and spicy to just
Just
spicy.
Give me the spice.
Williams and Lica working on that cross-court dink. Both look pretty comfortable hanging in that rally for a while.
Someone's going to do something at some point here, Mark.
How about Riley Newman, who steps across to use the forehand? He tried. What do you think? Execution error or decision-making error?
I think that was the wrong time for that. The ball
so
was
we'll put that in the
also
decision-making
poor
error.
execution. I think it was maybe both.
Hybrid.
7-4-2.
I mean, it's tough to execute
when you make,
a wrong choice, right? And so.
True. True.
Okay, we're going to stack that one up to the poor choice. Riley Newman doesn't make many of them. Right now, using a lot of topspin on that backhand side. A little bit of a flatter ball.
And interesting that Riley goes
Look
over.
at that, watch out. Okay, they got a bit of a mismatch. Daescu gets back. Uh-oh. He and Lica on both sides. So great to show that when they were in trouble, a bit of a mismatch. They were on the wrong sides. They were both on the same side. Daescu wisely plays a dink, which while it doesn't cause a lot of problems for his opponents, it does prevent them from attacking and
The
gives
ball-
him and Lica time to get back.
Ball clips
Lica
the net.
is going to have a little chat with our friend Byron.
Agreed, though. Byron agreed.
Well, Byron has no possible angle here to overrule any call from the opposite side of the court. That would be the wrong
It is a
play
tough
by the
one.
referee to overrule a call that's on the opposite side of the court for them. There's no line judges for this match, so the call stands.
Yeah, Andre and Eden didn't put up a lot of a fight there. Wow, that's that spot we've talked about throughout the week. The importance of aiming towards your opponent's forehand hip, especially against a big man like Lica, that where it's tough to get in tight there on that forehand side, right by the old pelvis. Pickleball doctor, that is the pelvis we're talking about, right?
You know, Mark, you know your anatomy like no one's business.
I got hit a few times near the pelvis myself today.
I feel like I'm uncomfortable with the word pelvis being used.
You know, the more we talk about it, the more comfortable you'll get. Lauren.
It's science, Lauren. It's science.
Meanwhile, Riley.
Oh, boy.
Oh, so Riley went to the left hand there. Williams had the right hand. Not quite sure who finally made contact with that ball.
And with that, we're at 6-7-1. Nick Williams and Riley Newman making a push here to get back in this game.
Oh, man.
They'll think about that one as they go to the second server.
Going on a run.
6-7-2.
6-7-2, third game. Winner plays tomorrow, final four. You do not want to miss this. Oh, it's 7-7,
With
tied
that.
game. If you are on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure to like. You do not want to miss any of this action. 7-7, we are tied. Third game, Margaritaville, Pickleball USA Championships. We'll be right back.
And we're back live at Nationals. Mark Renison alongside Noah Saraban and Lauren McLaughlin. And here we are, 7-7 in game number 3 of this men's pro doubles match.
This has been a brutal fight to the end. Oh.
Williams and Newman kind of taking control here towards the end of this third game.
There's some momentum building.
Might be a... Let's see what happens here. Might be a good time to take another timeout if they lose this point.
Well, that's a bold prediction.
I said if. Ed and Lica's got different ideas in mind, and with that, they win the point.
I was literally just about to say, Riley better watch that side, though.
And as the ball retrieving team over there gets the ball, I'm going to remind you, both of you two, that you can upgrade your game with Head's lineup of performance pickleball bags. You got to put your paddles, shoes, balls somewhere. These are designed specifically for pickleball players, and Head offers larger bags to store multiple paddles, shoes, and other gear, as well as backpacks, very convenient, and tote bags. Visit the Head Pen Tent here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden to find the perfect bag to suit your needs. We saw a few minutes ago that Ed and Lica pretty sure pulled a ball out of his bag. And you know, it's important, as you see, you're going to a tournament, you've got a lot of matches to play, you need somewhere to put all your stuff. One of
Need
those-
that pickleball gear, Mark.
Yeah, one of those head performance pickleball bags could be a great place to put it. Uh-oh.
That might be trouble.
That's a bad place to put that lob.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the forehand of
Ill-advised.
Andre Daescu. I mean, the guy is 12 feet tall. It's going to be difficult to lob. He's got
Now, was
he's
that
got
a?
the hops.
Would you say that was a bad lob or a bad dink?
It's a lobette.
Yeah, bad lob.
And make the trip to Margaritaville, Indian Wells Tennis Garden.
9-8-1. Andre Daescu, Ed and
Oh,
Lica
boy. Oh,
looking
no.
to find their way into tomorrow's play with the final four. Riley Newman
Nick had that.
blocked
Match
the ball
point.
from his own
Blocked
partner.
it,
We've got a
yeah.
match point here.
Match
Daescu,
point.
That is
And Lica.
unfortunate.
got to think the pressure here is on Riley and Williams. Lica.
Oh.
Wait a second. Nope. That's
He
a
didn't touch
mistake.
the ball.
That's
Oh, not a kitchen
Ooh.
violation, a pass
Interesting.
the
Foot foul
post
called. Okay.
violation.
So in 12 seconds, I'm going to explain what happened here. There was a foot foul called. You are allowed to cross the plane of the net only when you touch the ball, and Lica didn't touch it, but he did pass the post, so that's going to be a foot fault. Still a
That's
match
why
point
that-
here. There it is. Eden Lica throws that paddle, calls the ball out. Got to think Riley Newman, Nicholas Williams, they're not really happy with how things went at the end.
And this
That
is
was
a
a-
huge victory as this puts them in the winner's bracket final. And Eden Lica and Andre Daescu are now guaranteed to be on the medal stand.
That's big for those guys.
That's
Big.
huge. I mean, this is a
This
national.
might be their first time here at Nationals coming to the medal stand, which is huge. So a big congrats to them. Bit of a anticlimactic ending to that game, I feel like, but nonetheless, 3 games.
You know what's something that's
Ooh.
going to have a pretty great climax to it, I bet?
I'm uncomfortable with that even more, Mark.
Lauren just not comfortable with this booth anymore. She is walking out the door.
I'm gonna have to excuse myself.